Welcome back, everyone, to Achievement Hunting 101. This is level 327, which not only is a popular brand of women's New Balance shoes, but also is an awesome Magnum bullet. However, here it is just us shooting the breeze about our New Balance of trying to enjoy gaming more and achievement whoring less. I am ElroyOMJ, and he is X the Hero, and we are back after our 2-week break. And I must ask, how are you, and how was Black Friday?
Well, I am good, but first of all, we need to remind everyone that 327 is not a prime number. As this is now a prime number podcast, this is not a prime number episode. But I'm good. I am well. I am splendid. All those things, whatever. Black Friday was insane, as we discussed on our last episode 2 weeks ago. We were doing a huge sale in the shop, buy two, get one free, anything in the store, which is, I still can't believe he did that. Like, buy 3 consoles, one of them is going to be free. And we opened 4 hours early. We opened at 7 a.m. and no one was like waiting outside when we opened. But at 7:04, just the sea of people came in, and it was this really bizarre mix just all day. I worked 12 hours straight that day with barely a break. It took me like half an hour to scarf down a piece of pizza in between helping customers. But all day it was the people who were there to like take advantage of the deal. Like we had people come in and like, let me get this $200 game, this $190 game, and then I'll get this $170 game for free. Like, that's awesome. Good for you. We had people come in like, let me get this $300 console, this $275 console, and this $250 console free. Like, that's awesome. Good for you. And then there are the people just kind of shopping like a normal day. Like, let me just get this, $11 Xbox 360 game, this $9 360 game, and oh, I don't even know what I want for free. Just give me a $5 game for free. Like the ones that didn't really know how to take advantage of the deal. But yeah, it was crazy.
I guess the first question I have is what kind of games were they buying for $170, $190? That seems a little high for me.
Well, you're buying digital games and you wait till they're on sale in your vacation home for $2. But I'm talking like rare, like PS1, PS2 games,
Oh,
like sealed in-box Nintendo
okay.
64 and Super Nintendo, like the heavy hitter kind of stuff. Things like that.
Are those the graded games? Do you have them graded or anything?
We don't I think we have a couple graded games behind the counter, but we don't really deal in grading, but gradable games,
Okay.
to
I
put it that way. So people, we have them in good shape, and then I'd be surprised if most of those didn't end up being graded.
By the people that buy, right?
Yeah, by the people who bought them. It's
Right.
one of those things like, if you wanna play the game, Xenogears, PS1, it
Mhm.
came out in what, 1999. Like, you've had 25 years to play the game. If you wanted to play it, you can, do a remaster, a port, play it on an emulator or whatever, but, like, the original game has been sealed for 25 years. Are you really cracking that open at
You're
this point?
not.
Like,
No,
that's
no.
for a collection, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, right, there's cheaper options out there than a sealed.
Right, if you just wanna play the game, you're not coming in and spending, $200 on a disc, right?
That's right. Yeah, I have a couple that I got that were sealed. I have a Mule sealed, and then I have Engraded, and then I have Military Madness for the TurboGrafx. It's sealed
Oh, okay.
and graded.
I know that one. I don't know the first one you said.
Mule, that was the one I had the world record in for years and years.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah, on
good.
the NES, and so I thought I should have that sealed since
That's
I
cool.
was the world record holder until some beat me, or I don't have the patience to go back and try to beat that score again. It's just I've explained that in other podcasts,
Yeah.
but
That muscle memory is long gone.
well, no, it's not even that. It's just the patience because there's really no
Yeah.
muscle memory. It's a turn-based, like, I don't know, strategy
Oh, okay.
game. And so if you make a run for it, it's like a 2-hour investment ish. There's a random event in it that just can go. It runs the entire game, and it's just complete random. Nothing that you did. It's just a random event in the game, and it happens like way too frequently. But if it happens in the last few turns that you have, there's no way you're going to get anywhere close to a good score. So it's like you have a really good run going, and then Wah,
Then
wah.
RN Jesus shows up.
Right, it's the space pirates, actually. They take all your crystallite.
Gotcha.
I think the only other person that would have known what I'm talking about there is Exprovos, who is a fan of the game as well. He knows about the space pirates taking the crystallite. But anyhow, I'm doing all right. I have no huge complaints. I've been stuck in it seems like I keep running into console issues, and I'm sure it's my own doing that I just don't keep up with that kind of stuff. But I ran into it with an Xbox One. So I had my first generation Xbox One at work, and I was trying to run a game that I'm going to talk about later, which is, I don't know, it's not really a baby game. It's a toddler game. It's called Spot the Differences, but I'll get to that later. There's no reason why this game shouldn't run on an old school Xbox. It's a very basic game. And I got the compatibility issue, but I had already kind of planned for that game on my murder board. It was going to be the next thing that they had to complete. And so I had to scrap plans for that day and then bring up my Skillet Xbox the next time I had a chance to do it and executed on that. It was just an inconvenience because I was all gung-ho ready to do it, and then it just said a compatibility issue, and that happened. And then I was trying to play my wonderful German version of Sleeping Dogs that you helped me find, which I appreciate.
Hey, Schlafenhunden.
And I had bought a European 360, I thought, but my suspicions are is it's not actually a PAL console, and it doesn't really matter because the disk drive is busted on it. So I don't really want to invest any more money
Doesn't
into
matter either way.
And what the thing that really irritates me is that I bought it off eBay, I don't know, weeks, months ago, and I was waiting until I finished the other two versions, and so it's been a long slog, and I've got distracted by other things, and I finally got around to doing it, and so I pulled out the console, and it was just a disaster. It didn't work. It just did not get the job done, and it's so far since I bought it that there's nothing. I just have to eat it. I went and bought another one, and I was making very sure that it is exactly what I'm looking for and that it works, and excited to finally get that, and I will definitely fire it up when I get it. I don't know. I just running into like the NTSC PAL thing. I didn't realize there's some games that are compatible on all three versions. That was news to me.
There were a handful of region-free 360 games.
Yes, and see, that's where I got confused when I was trying to buy the new one. Is I asked the guy to test a game on it, and I was like, "Well, because he didn't have any PAL games, he only had the NTSC games," and I said, "Well, at least it'll show if the disk drive will fire it up. If nothing else, I'll just know it works." But then he fired up Ascree 3, and he sent me a picture of the title screen. I was like, okay, now I'm really confused because I thought, okay, it's playing NTSC games, and I was expecting this is not compatible with this region. But then I did some research and found there was all these. I had no idea that was things. I've just been battling with console issues. I guess it seems like the compatibility. It seems like I shouldn't have to deal with that, but whatever. Hopefully, I'll have an update on Sleeping Dogs German version at some point that it worked. We'll see.
Well, with the argument of do we need consoles moving forward, and you say, I'll always have consoles. If you're just streaming your games, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff.
Well, if I stream my games, I wouldn't get to play these games because Microsoft would have them under lock and key, and I'd have to. I'm sure there's some other shenanigans I could do, and also I learned that you could actually change your. Well, I guess you could. I always kind of knew you could do it, but you can change your console, but you have to change your whole gamer tag over to a different region, and I'm not going to do that.
Well, you can't change the console itself. You can change your profile, but you can't turn like a Japanese console into a North American console. You can't do that.
Okay, there's like all kinds of YouTube videos, and I didn't really watch it, but that's all they all espouse. But I was just like,
well, there's some like mods you can do that are illegal and frowned upon, and you don't want to go online with those console, and you definitely don't want to sign in with your gamer tag. You can do it. I guess I shouldn't say you can't, but it's far more complicated and illicit than changing your region. It doesn't work that way.
Okay, well, that's what I thought, but I don't know. He kept sending me these YouTube videos, and I'm like, no, I'm just going to buy a console. I'm not doing that. And the one that I got actually had the box with it, and on the box it had the diamond-looking thing that they put on European games, their little ESRB thing. 99% sure this is a PAL console. He said he bought it in Europe and blah, blah, whatever.
Should be good, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the update there. Do you have any other updates from previous levels we've covered other than Black Friday?
That's all I got.
Oh,
Haven't really done very much since our last chat, to be honest.
you've been busy with.
Black Friday wiped me out, and I've just been sort of recovering.
Oh man.
Actually, you know what? As a muscle guy, you'll appreciate
Okay.
this.
What we got?
Why is it you know you can picture a display case, right?
Okay.
Whenever a customer wants to see something in the showcase, why is it always on the bottom shelf? Like I'm not the pinnacle of health, but I'm not like comically out of shape. But like, man, 12 hours of squats really got me
Oh man,
in
you
a
got.
bad spot after that.
Now, did you? I have to ask. Did you squat down like using the knees, where you just, or did you like brace the knee on the ground?
No, for the first 8 hours, it was a good balanced squat, and then by hour 9, the knees are on the ground. They're
Right.
like there's no keeping them up anymore. And then by hour 10, it was like I'm not even like slowly lowering myself. It's just like this collapse, knees on the ground.
You're like pulling yourself up by the case itself, and
Right, and then getting up is its own ordeal.
right. Oh, getting old. Yeah. I had some updates for you. So, speaking of retro games and 360, I do actually own that one Chambawara.
One Chambara.
Yeah, I did get that from GameStop at one point in my life. I wish that it had the price tag on it, but it didn't. So I know I didn't pay more than $15 for it. I guess I got a good deal on that one. And then
Sweet.
my wife, she wanted to watch the new Deadpool movie the other day.
Hey.
I said that would be totally wasted on me because I don't even think I've seen the first one. She compromised and we actually watched the first one and I enjoyed it. So it was we're probably
Okay.
going to watch the next two in the near future.
Sweet.
So I am now more versed in Deadpool. Lastly, the sewer flies that at the school that I work at, some I guess maintenance worker took some pride in their work and they are gone. So I have no idea what happened. It's possible they all froze. I don't know, but they are gone and I am glad for it. Although yesterday, somebody clogged the toilet up and they were unable to fix that. So they just put a trash bag over it. That's their fix for that. So nobody can go number two in my bathroom because there is a plastic bag over the toilet. However,
Is that gonna stop anybody though,
well,
if we're
that's
being
what I was
honest?
gonna say. Today I took a
Oh
picture
man.
because somebody decided to urinate all over the bag, and there was like a pool of urine in the middle of the bag. I'm not really sure why. Seems like it would have gone all over themselves as they were, urinating on plastic. But I was a little taken back by that. That was interesting. I've never seen somebody actually go there. But that's just me keeping it real. Just like the real games that we're going to be talking about. What you got for us this week?
All right. Well, this week, I don't have a transition to be honest.
Oh man, we
I'm
tried to
I'm sorry,
tried to
everyone.
cover.
I don't have one. I don't have one. No, I'm just kidding. I'm bringing something different to the party this week. I'm talking about none other than Party Hard. Party Hard. How would I even go about describing this game? I suppose you could summarize it as, well, you are a grumpy old man. Actually, you're not even that old. You're like a grumpy millennial or young Gen X, and your neighbors are making too much noise. And I assume you've probably asked them nicely several times to keep the noise down because, I just want to go to bed at 9 o'clock. But they won't do it. They are partying hard. So, what's an elder millennial to do? Murder them all, of course, is the answer. Murder them all.
This sounds like the movie back in the day called Falling Down, if you're familiar with it. I think it had Michael Douglas in it, maybe, or Kurt Douglas, one of the Douglases.
What is the Douglas? I am not familiar with that one. Go ahead, old people. Tell me how I'm wrong.
Well, for the old people out there, if you haven't seen it, basically something pushes him over the edge, and then he just decides to go. Just back in the day, we used to say he went postal. He like just goes on a rampage. It's a great movie. I don't know if it holds up at all, but it was great at the time.
Well, that more or less is what this game is. There's no story. I think if I remember, it opens up and like there's an alarm clock, and then that's it. You're just at the neighbor's house, and you have to again, you literally kill everyone. That's the objective of the game. But it's not like a slasher. It's not like a Friday the 13th. It's so comical and over the top that it's silly. Like, yeah, you're murdering innocent
Mhm.
people who are just partying, but it's so just absurd that you don't you're not there's no like moral problems or whatever that you're playing a game as the murderer. Um, so you basically you go through this series of levels. I do wonder about this guy and if it really is noisy neighbors or if he's just putting himself in this situation. But the first one is you know your neighbor's house. They're just having like a backyard barbecue. Kill them all. And then there's this barn party. Kill them all. And then you end up in a casino. Kill them all. And then you're on this rooftop, awesome rooftop party, kill everyone. Then you end up on a boat, you got to kill everyone. And then you go to a college beach party in Miami, kill everyone. And then you go on the party bus, which I'm going to talk about specifically in a little bit. But you got to kill everyone on the party bus. You guys noticing the trend here? That's what the game is. You kill everyone. There's an open air festival. There's a Halloween party, a pool party, a college campus part, like a homecoming night party, and then an underground like rave club, and that is the gameplay, is kill everyone. Of course it's more challenging than that because, well, you can't let people see you kill other people, so you have to, lure people off to the side and then you can kill them, and then you can hide the body. Right? Well, you kind of need to. If you don't, people will
Mhm.
spot the body and then they'll run to the phone to call police. You can take out the phones, do that, or you can kill them on their way to, but there's a decent amount of strategy involved, which I was not expecting when I fired it up. I thought it would be more like I don't even know what a good comparison would be, but I didn't think you'd have to think. I thought it would just sort of be this mindless stab fest, if that's the genre.
A hack and slash?
Yeah, not quite a hack and slash, but a stab and shank.
Stab and
Um,
shank. That'd be another great genre, but well, for those
but
wondering, it's
yeah,
actually a stealth game, right?
it is a stealth game,
Okay.
which, like I say, yeah, that's I wasn't expecting that. It's way more tactical. You really do need to think things out. It's not a game you can rush through. It's very much, hide and wait until the opportunity presents itself, and then, wait till only one person's in the room and then kill them and hide the body, and then, move to the next room. And you can't just run out and shank, 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 because then, they call the cops on you, and then the cops will chase after you, and then you can dispose of the cops, and then the FBI shows up, and it just sort of escalates the worse of a serial killer you are, which is part of the challenge in and of itself, is being an efficient murderer at these parties.
Was there any story, like, that linked the parties? Because I've played this game, and it's been a long time, and I'm trying to remember you said there's really no plot. I'm just trying to remember how he keeps ending up in this wide range of locations.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I wonder how much of this is noisy neighbor and how much is, psychosis, because he seems to find himself at a lot of parties.
Right, especially on the party bus. It seems like he would be averse to
Yeah,
such.
you probably need like an invite to the party bus, I
Right,
think, right?
you would think, accidentally end up on a party bus takes some talent, I don't know.
Right. I hate when I accidentally end up on a party bus. But yeah, you're not just shanking people. I think the fun part of the game is finding ways to kill people.
Mhm.
So you can, like spill water and then put wires in it and electrocute them. You can poison the punch bowl, things like that. There's traps you can set up, like they'll open a door and something will like fall on them. There's my favorite one in the barn level, actually, you can, like, piss off a horse, and then someone will walk behind the horse, and the horse will just kick them and kill them, and then if you can set it up like that where it doesn't scream, "Oh my gosh, there's a murderer here," like, the horse kicked someone and they died, like, no one cares, and they just continue partying around the body.
Nobody calls the cops on that.
Right, yeah, no one calls the cops, they call an ambulance, and it comes and
Oh.
hauls off the corpse, basically, but it just yeah, so, like I said, the objective is to be stealthy and be a good serial killer and find clever ways to kill these people. You're totally not gonna have a good time gameplay-wise if you just run in the main building and start stabbing. It's not gonna work for you, you're not even gonna beat the first level doing it that
It's
way.
not Assassin's Creed is what you're saying.
Exactly, there's no, "Oh, no, I blew the stealth, let me just go hack and slash mode," you can't do that. If you do get caught, you can hide, and like every other stealth game, eventually they'll stop looking for you, which is crazy because you're at this party with 20 people, and this guy just ran out of the closet, stabbed 3 people, and then disappeared, and, "Oh, we'll just party over the 17 of us now, it's fine."
Right, and nobody's like, "Well, maybe it was the guy that we didn't invite."
Right. So, like you were saying with your suspension of disbelief, there's a lot of that, but
Right.
that's why we play video games, right? So,
You're right.
as far as the achievements in this game go, there's nothing missable. There are some miscellaneous and bonus objectives. I'll point out a couple of the fun ones as we go through. I'm pretty much just going to scroll through the list here. Um, so, as I mentioned, one of my favorite miscellaneous ways of killing people is you can like hotwire a car so that if someone walks in front of it, the car will just run them over. So there's an achievement for killing 15 people with one car. So you have to time it just right. So there's a crowd of like a Congo line, I think, in front of the car, and it mows them all down. Escape from the police, of course. Get back into stealth mode. The casino level I mentioned, there's actually some robbers coming in. You can use them to your advantage because the robbers will distract the police. But there's achievement for just murder them too. Like screw it, like I'm just gonna kill you guys too because I'm killing everyone. You kill streaks, of course. No one's surprised by that. Kill so many people without getting caught. But then there's the fun ones like use so many traps, stun so many people, kill the person running to the phone, of course, butcher for kill 1,000 people.
Mm.
It's more or less what you would expect from a stealth game. Completed a level without anyone finding a body. That one's called Ninja. Very fitting.
Mhm.
Um, there's one, I think my favorite achievement in the whole game, and Elroy probably knows which one I'm gonna say. Actually, do you know which one I'm gonna say? Do you have the list up?
I do have it up. I haven't looked through all of them quite yet, but
Oh, okay.
I do see that there's one for killing 50 people in your favorite way, but it's not exactly stands out. It's just called Jockey for 50 horse kills. Oh,
You know it?
it's gotta be I'm sexy and I know
Yes, it is.
it. I just saw it.
It's it's the only achievement in the game, well, that's not true. It's the only gameplay achievement in the game that doesn't involve killing people. It's "I'm sexy and I know it" is what it's called, and got your ass kicked for dancing. You just walk out in the middle of the rooftop club and you just start dancing, and people recognize like, "Wait a minute, he's not supposed to be here." And then they they kick your ass, as the achievement implies. I was hesitating on saying that, but no, that is the achievement language,
Yeah.
so we can get away with it on this family-friendly podcast here. You don't lose the level, luckily, because you don't get killed, you don't get caught. They just knock you out, and then you wake up a couple minutes later, and then you have more of a reason to murder them, right?
Exactly. For your terrible dancing.
The game overall, it's a ton of fun if you are into, sort of that stealth patience rewarding kind of gameplay. Not at all what I was expecting, but I had a really good time with it. Um, and the highlight of the game, like I said, is the party bus. I said we'll talk about the party bus in a minute. So you find yourself on a party bus with how many people are in this level? Can I find it super quick? There's like 46 people or something like that on
Oh,
this
there is a
bus.
walkthrough for it. I just now saw that. I don't think there was
Is
when I
there?
started. Yeah, there's a walkthrough. I don't think that existed when I played this.
I don't think that existed when I played it either.
Oh, I'm seeing the
But
party bus. The party bus is actually called Party Bus.
oh, yeah, no, I that is the level title, yeah. So I think there's, like, 47, not an even 50 or whatever, but there's also a chainsaw and a smoke grenade. So you just walk into the middle of this party bus, everyone's dancing, and then you drop your smoke grenade, and then you pull out the chainsaw, and you just butcher everyone on the bus, and that's it. So there's an achievement for, I think, killing, 50 people in a row, or no, it has to be less than 50. Or there has to be more than 50 people on the bus to get that one. So kill 50 people in a row without getting caught, kill so many people in a certain amount of time, complete a level in 3 minutes. The party bus is the way to do it, and it's it's the most gruesome level by a landslide because you're literally just taking a chainsaw to a crowd of people. The other ones are much more stealthy and subtle, so the party bus definitely stands out. You can't really lose this one. If people catch you, they freak out, but you have a chainsaw. Like, what are they gonna do?
Problem solved.
Don't scream in a chainsaw fight, I guess, is because 'cause you're gonna lose every time, is how that one goes.
again, I've played this game, but it's been so long that I don't remember. So you bust out a chainsaw on the party bus, and the driver keeps going like, they're just having fun back there.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of Party Bus, actually. I pulled up the walkthrough. It seems like it's pretty good, but I didn't use that one. The driver is blocked off from the back of the bus, so
Oh, I
presumably
see, I see.
the driver has no idea what's happening. You know, he's gonna land at the destination and open up the back and
I got you.
yikes.
You would think that they might hear the chainsaw over the music, but I don't know.
I mean, if I'm driving a party bus, I probably have my own music
Yeah, okay, yeah.
cranked up in the cabin, right?
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, that makes sense. I think it checks out. Okay.
Alright. The downside to the achievements in this game are there's one for dying 100 times, which, believe it or not, is actually one of the highest ratios in the game at 2.77. It's 50 gamer score, so if you wanna grind it out, you know, it's pretty worth it. Why is it so bad? Because dying takes a long time. It's not like you can just walk out. There's not like a spawn point where you can just die. The quickest one is probably like 2, 3 minutes per loop. You start the level, it's the rooftop actually where you dance, and then you have to, like, spill water, I think, and then charge the dance floor, electrically charge the dance floor, and then stand in that long enough until you die, and then there's a big animation, "Oh, you died," and then it has to reload. It's a solid, like I said, 2, 3-minute loop, so 100 times is quite a few hours of just monotonously dying. I didn't bother with that achievement,
Mhm,
and then there's another probably the worst achievement design actually I've ever heard for played the game 100 times. So
mhm.
normally when you think of that, you're like, "Oh, you know, go to the menu and click start, and then quit out, and then click start, and then quit out." But no, this one, it's actually literally load up the full game from closed to the title screen.
Oh, okay. That answers I was curious why I didn't have this because I grinded out the die one, and I thought, well, if I restarted after dying, that might count for this.
Exactly, yeah, it's not play 100 levels, it's
Right.
literally fire up the game 100 times. And you know what? I didn't bother with that one. I have better things to do than, you know, close the game, dashboard, quit it out, wait a second, fire it back up.
Mm,
It's a solid minute till it loads up,
mm.
and then quit, dashboard, close the game. Like it's doable in a couple hours, but is that really what you want to do? Is that the best thing you could do for your hard drive? Like, at least, you know, if the game is loaded, reloading the same level 100 times, but I don't know. Closing and opening the game doesn't seem great. So that one actually has a higher TA ratio than dying 100 times at 3.05. And then
And actually beating the game.
right, yeah, exactly, exactly. That's what I'm saying. More people have beaten the game than have opened the game 100 times or died 100, or yeah, which makes perfect sense because they're grindy and they're
Mhm.
stupid. And then the last one that I did not earn is just the platinum trophy, complete all achievements, which seems like at one point it was buggy, but now it seems like it unlocks with no issues. So I took 12 hours and 27 minutes with no guide, mind you. TA says it's a 10 to 12-hour completion. I would put that higher, just again based on my
Hmm.
playtime there. But I guess if you follow a guide, that shortens it a bit. But of that 10 to 12 hours, probably 4 or 5 of that is gonna be grinding dying and then grinding loading up the game.
Hmm.
So I didn't bother with those 2. But in 12 and a half hours, 850 gamer score for me, with nearly a 2.0 ratio, and the whole game, weirdly enough, is about 2.0. 1954 TA, if you're into that kind of thing.
Well, I am.
Of
The
course you are.
but for me, I have it says 7 hours on it, so unless I've just played it since I got my last achievement on in it,
Mm,
and I have 25 more gamer score, I haven't beaten the game, but I have done the deaths. That's where we differ on it.
yep.
I guess I need to just go back and beat the last game and then just do the open and close a lot. So I think I had totally forgotten about this game. I now that we've talked about it, I think I'm actually gonna go back and finish it. I would kinda like to get this one in the finish pile. Is there any I'm trying to think of why I did not finish the last stage.
Well, I was just gonna say the difficulty spike is honestly pretty, like, it goes up pretty exponentially, um, probably the second half. It's steady growth for the first half, and then it just goes crazy for the last 3 levels, honestly, are they really gave me a run for my money. Maybe with this guy that's now on TA, there's a better way than I was doing. But yeah, the Halloween party, there were just people coming in. I couldn't isolate anybody to kill them. I think that probably took me like 2 hours on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And then the college party level, that took me probably another 2 hours on my own. And then the sewer level, probably another 2.5, 3 hours.
Hmm. Was there any flies down there by chance? I just asking for a friend.
It probably was full of flies.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't get close to people, isolate them, kill them.
Right.
But yeah, those last couple levels, the people, the AI gets smarter basically.
Mm.
So in the early levels, you can, kill somebody in the middle of the floor and then hide in a closet. No one will find you after 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Later in the game, they'll start looking in closets. They'll travel to different rooms to find the killer. And it just, I'm not very good at stealth, so it really tested my limits.
Mm-hmm.
If you are good at stealth, and again, if you're following this guide, maybe there's a loop or something. But I'm not surprised that you didn't finish it, just because I do remember that last level.
Well, I do hate
That was
stealth, so
that really tested my patience.
stealth has never been my favorite by any stretch, but I do remember enjoying this game. I'd say next to Pizza Possum is probably my second favorite stealth game that I can think of off the top of my head. But
Off the dome.
right. That last stage, it looks like on the walkthrough, there's like a place that you can hide behind some boxes that are kind of unaccounted for. It gets you one random achievement for escaping 5 times, but it seems like you could use that to your advantage to basically just go on a murdering spree and then hiding and then wait it out until everyone stops looking for you.
The thing is, if I remember correctly, on the last level, the FBI shows up by default,
Oh,
and you
done.
can. I don't want to like say the words and get the podcast flagged. You can eliminate the cops, but you can't necessarily eliminate the FBI as easily. You still can. You have to trap them and then dispose of them, and there's a finite number of traps. So it comes down
Oh,
to, do I want to lay in wait and let the FBI pass and then kill the party goers, or do I want to waste my stuff on the FBI and then I have to be very strategic in killing the party goers?
gotcha.
So
Okay.
maybe, like I said, maybe there is some loop that would make it easier, but it's, yeah, that one's just a pain because there's a lot going on,
Right.
and it pretty much, it throws every challenge that the game has had prior. They throw at you all at once on that last level.
Probably not a great idea that I have stopped playing this game
I
altogether.
was kind of thinking that, like, you probably lost a lot of, they go back to muscle memory and
Oh,
just sort of
man.
the how do things work, and I'll be impressed. Not, I wouldn't put it past you, but I'll be impressed if you can just pick it up blind and then go finish that last level.
Sounds like a future update. All right.
That was Party Hard. It's $13. It goes on sale. Well, it used to go on sale pretty often. It now has not been on sale in over 2 years, actually. So it's probably due for a sale soon. But even at $13, it's, if you like stealth, $13 is an easy sell. If you want to dabble with it, I'd see and wait if it goes on sale again.
And isn't there a Party Hard 2, or did I imagine that?
There is Party Hard too. Yeah, I've not played that one.
I haven't either. Looks like they made it a little more challenging, but maybe I'll fire that one up and then some of the skills will carry over and make it more worth my while. But awesome, man. Yours is a little more recent than than my game. My game's still available, but not by much. Your game, what year did yours come out in?
2016.
Okay, well, that seems like a new release compared to mine. Mine was a 2011 gem.
Oh wow, we're going way back.
I don't know why I wanted to talk about this game. I guess it's because I finally finished it and put it to bed. So in my mind, if I talk about it here, that is the ultimate closure, and I will never have to think about this game ever again. The game is Disney Universe. This one is, you went one extreme, I went the other extreme. Mine is a Disney game.
I'm talking about murdering innocent people, and you're Disney.
On the other, yeah. So hey, let's balance it out somewhere in the middle. This is a 360 game, obviously, because it came out before the other one even existed. It's a beat 'em up, no surprise there. It is backwards compatible, so you can still play this without having to, fire up the 360. You can still purchase it for $20. It's I don't know, it's 2200 TA, 1200 TAD, and 25 30 hour completion. It's kind of one of those lukewarm games that it's just kind of a casual gaming experience that it's kind of like a Lego game. By me saying that, you either immediately just started scrubbing forward because you don't want to hear about it, or you either just went and bought it. I don't know. It seems like Lego games are a thing, and some people that's their jam. Not my jam, but that's a lot of people's jam. Why Lego games? Sidebar: why are Lego games not all beat 'em ups? I'm glad that they're not. Don't get me wrong. I mean, this game is just like a Lego game, and it is a beat 'em up. So I don't know. Whatever. What are the Lego games classified as? Just out of curiosity, I didn't even look that up.
Lego games?
Yes.
Probably adventure, open world, um, action adventure. It looks like
Oh,
action
okay.
adventure.
Well, yeah, this one
Action's a bit of a stretch, but
right. But it's kind of that concept where it's like, oh, you need to find a way. This is kind of the first stage. You need to find a way to across the bridge. You need to build the cannon to shoot. Has a little arrow pointing at the cannon, and then you have to drag the thing over to the thing, and it builds it, and then you have to jump on the thing that you just built, and then use it to further the stage, and then you go and it's that over and over again. It's like, oh man, something it needs to be fixed. I'm telling you, it's like a freaking Lego game. But the thing that really stood out to me more than anything about this game, I just found it kind of creepy, to be honest. So if you look at the artwork for the game, it is a Stitch character. You can see what I'm talking about. So all the characters that you get to play look like this, where basically you take a Disney character that you kind of know or grew up with, and it looks like somebody party harded them, and then
God.
and then literally scooped out everything on the inside of them and made a skin suit out of them, and then put that on over them, and then your face is like the mouth just hangs open, and that's where your face is, where you can look out through the skin suit of the Disney character that you have.
I was gonna say, so you're wearing a costume is that how
That's
it's
kind
supposed
of,
to be?
yes, that's what it's supposed to look like. To me, it just looks creepy.
It is kind of creepy.
All of them are like that. I could not, like, every time I looked at it, I just was like, "What? It doesn't look right." Like, it just looks like he gutted them like a fish and then crawled inside them or something. I don't know. It's
It
it's bizarre to me, but if you can get past that, then I guess you're all right. So not only is it like a Lego game, it's your classic 360 experience. So maybe you're feeling nostalgic about the
for
360.
better or for worse.
This game has the 360 vibe. It's just the same thing over and over with a different background. It's all very doable, but it's just kind of annoying at times. There's a couple of grindy achievements, that are designed to increase that replayability on the game. And fortunately, there's no difficulty ones really on the game. So here's the achievements. You can get a bunch of them right out of the bat, 8 of them. For you, you can just get those within 3 minutes, I would say. You hook up a bunch of controllers, and there's a bunch of multiplayer ones that you can get. The walkthrough can take you through it. There is a walkthrough for this game. Yeah, not that you would necessarily need it too much, but there's one for beating the level without respawning. These are the ones you'll get like within, the first 3 minutes. Transferring a curse to another player, you just have to like touch them, and then there's an animal sitting there. You just jump on the animal, you get an achievement. Then defeat another player by throwing them. You just pick them up and throw them off the stage, again like a Lego game. Defeat 5 players in a single level, so you can just throw the same person off the cliff 5 times. Completed a level with 4 players, you just have 3 idle controllers, and you just go finish the stage real quick.
I was gonna ask about that one actually, because that's the highest ratio achievement in the game.
Oh no, it's not.
So you don't actually need 4 people.
No, you just have 4 controllers.
You just need 4 controllers,
Right.
gotcha.
It is one of the higher ones, which is I think it's probably because most people back in the day when they actually played this didn't actually have 4 controllers, but here we
Right.
are, years later, and it seems like everyone has 4 controllers now. Maybe not. Maybe I'm talking from a place of privilege. I have, many, many more than that. This one, there are some achievements that have higher ratios than that I'll get to in a second, but that's
Oh, are there?
yeah,
I
there's a lot of
missed them. Okay.
in-game ones. So that's the ones that are front loaded. It's kind of front loaded and somewhat it's front loaded with the several achievements, and then it's back loaded with like where all the big heavy hitters are that you get all that 1200 tad for.
Oh yeah, I see him. Okay, go on, carry on. It's the fifth highest ratio in the game for beating a level with 4 controllers.
And there's 4 achievements that are the cumulative ones that I'll get to, but there's story-based ones for beating each world. And so the way that the game is set up, there's, I think, let's see, 3, 4, 6, yeah, 6 worlds that you do. There's one for the Pirates of the Caribbean. It's called Swashbuckler. There's a world for Alice in Wonderland. It's called Time for Tea. The name of the achievement for beating that world is what I'm talking about. And the game is Disney Universe, in case I haven't said that enough times. Wall-E has a level, and that's you get the achievement Returning to Earth. Aladdin, Hero of the Sands. Lion King, It Means No Worries. And then lastly, Monsters, Inc. It's called Scary Feet. Yeah, I didn't really fully
I'm getting
understand though.
Kingdom Hearts vibes from I know they're completely
You're
unrelated,
right.
but just all the Disney worlds and the characters
Okay.
and
See, I've never played Kingdom of Hearts, but I mean, I'm somewhat familiar where they use a lot of the characters from Disney, and you kind of you're like, oh, I totally forgot about that character, and it's like an opportunity for that character to kind of shine, right? And that kind of the
Yep.
Okay, so this one is not that. This is you gutted them and you crawled inside them, and you're wearing their likeness, a onesie that you're wearing that's very lifelike. That's the only actual Disney references in the game is that. So the stages are just something that looks like it would be in the movie, but it's not. I guess that's not really fair. I mean, it's kind of a representation of the movie, but as far as other characters are concerned, you're not going to run into any of them. All the enemies are just some generic,
just generic bad guys.
yeah, well, they're like all
Okay.
themed, and I never really understood. There's like a corruption in the kingdom of sorts, and so there's like
This does sound like Kingdom Hearts. Hang on.
they're just red and black looking things, and there's different ones, and they just real tiny, and they just swing weapons at you. And there's a couple of bigger ones but they don't have any really descript look to them in the sense that they're not unique or have any place in the Disney canon that I'm aware of. The stages look like something out of the movies, and then your skin suits are the only thing that really tie it to a Disney game, I guess. Other than that, and then the narrator is something out not in Disney either. It's just some generic announcer voice narrating the whole thing. But there's a couple other random achievements. There's one for beating some of these unique enemies I talked about, where one's like a bulldog, one's called a roto, which is like just a big freaking enemy that spins around. That one's actually one of the most annoying because once he starts spinning, you have to wait a long time for him to stop spinning, and then you can damage him. And then there's several for different power-ups you can get. There's all these little blue boxes laying around where you grab it, and then it gives you a power that's real easy to destroy enemies with. Some of them are not. Some of them are kind of produce coins. Other ones are just random things. There's at least 3 that are tied to that, where you get it for power punch, or it's like the boxing glove one. There's one that's like a Medusa one. It's called Bad Hair Day. And so with these, there's really no way to easily cheese them. The only way, like they never give you enough enemies to actually get that achievement if you're going to try to go for it legit with little air quotes around it. And the only way you can really get it is part of a challenge. So there's these challenges. Each stage has one challenge on it that's very random that I'm going to go into detail on. But one of the challenges could be kill 30 enemies with the one Medusa power up, but they spawn so fast and it's real easy. It makes it real easy. The best thing about this game is the first stage. The first stage is trying to teach you the game, but it has all the features. It has a challenge. It has a level up, and it just has everything that all the other stages have. When you get to the grinding part of this game, you're just going to load up the first level. And I'll tell you how bad that is here in a second.
Oh boy.
The challenges, that's the part of the game that will first make you angry about this game, because
That's the first thing that will make you angry.
that's where it's kind of a nice laid back experience, but the challenges tie into one of the highest ratioed achievements in the game, which is called Champions of the Universe, which is getting gold grade for all worlds. So what is involved in doing that? Well, that's the beauty of it, is that what is a gold on one stage is not necessarily a gold on the other. It's like tiered based with how many coins are available, I guess. So you don't know until you finish the stage whether you got it, and you just kind of hope for the best, and there's no like solid number to hit. It's frustrating because sometimes you're like, man, I feel like I really nailed that one, and then you get a silver and you're like, oh, you kidding me? So rule of thumb, basically destroy everything, like destroy all the props that give you coins. Like if you destroy some of the scenery that gives you coins, got to get all the coins you can possibly get. And then the second thing is don't die, because when you die, you tend to lose coins. You like coins spew out of your skin suit, and then you respawn, and then you have to go grab them real quick.
So that took a page out of Lego's playbook then again there.
Exactly, I'm telling you.
Break everything for money.
Right. The bricks are, but they're little mouse ears. So I guess that ties to
It's only
Disney
real
too.
life works that way. And you just go punch the bleachers and gold pops out.
Right, you get some currency, right? And then you have to pass the challenge in all three stages. Each world has 3 stages, and so you have to get past the challenge on each one. Now, that's not usually an issue. Most of them are relatively easy, but some of them are just freaking unfair. Like there's a couple of them that are just stupid hard. You can't tell really what they want you to do, and it's just you're gonna fail some of them. Some of them you pops up, you're like, well, that was a good run, because it's not, you're gonna fail it. And there's more of those than you would hope there is. And the thing that gets you is that you're piecing together this amazing run. You got all the coins for the stage, and there's some levels where the challenge is like the last thing before you exit it. And then you get to the challenge and you fail the challenge. You're like, oh my gosh, I got to do this all over again, because you're not.
Yeah, you got to do the.
Yeah, because you can't. Yeah, you're not going to get the gold unless you pass the challenge. That's like a third of it. It's frustrating, those stages. Fortunately, there's a lot of stages where it's like really close to the front of it. Basically, I didn't destroy any of the props. I just streamlined as fast as I could until I got to the challenge, and then I passed the challenge. I'm like, okay, now I can go destroy everything. Yeah, and get all that done. But that's the first part. And then the other part is there's a couple that are just brutal grinding parts to this game. We talked about replayability. Well, to get all the skin suits that you have to beat every stage twice. So you basically have to play through the game twice. Now, one of those playthroughs can be really quick, and you don't have to try to get a gold. So that's kind of how you would do it, is just play through it, get familiar with the stage, get your first one, and then reload it while it's fresh in your mind, and then actually play it for real. Because you get a skin for each of the first 2 times you beat it, a different one. So you have to beat each stage twice to get all the gutted carcasses. Now,
is there anything different about the second playthrough, or is it literally identical? You just have to do it.
It is identical as anything you can think of.
That's frustrating.
Oh yeah, that's replayability is what that is.
Oh, is that what they call that?
That's what they call it. At least 360.
To bring Party Hard back, at least if you play a level again,
it's different. Yeah,
you can use different traps and concoction.
Yeah, that's not the case here. I mean, granted, maybe the enemies take a different path as they run to you, but that's not much.
Got it.
Yeah, and sometimes you might get a different. I think there's a couple boss characters that spawn differently each time, so you might get a different one of those. But still, that by that time you're just so tired of the game, you just, oh gosh, I gotta beat this thing again.
Jeez.
And the other one is the max out each costume. That's the other big Chivo, if you will, where you have, you have to grab the upgrade, which is this little chest, and you have to get the key to open the chest, and then you open the chest, you get the star, and then you have to beat the stage. That's one upgrade. Now, again, the beauty of it is that you can do the first stage in like 90 seconds if you just speed run. Maybe less than that. 90 seconds tops once you get rolling with it. But still, there's 40 to 50 characters, and you have to do this 3 times with each one of them. And you can kind of do this as you're playing through. That's one thing that kind of made me angry, is that I didn't realize it didn't really fully explain the upgrades to me, and I didn't realize what I was getting upgrades for, and it was for the star. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention, but I kept using the same character over and over again. I should have been changing each stage, and that would have made it a lot less anyway. That would have had me do at least 18. Oh, but you play each one twice, so it'd be 36. So yeah, I guess it would.
30, yep.
Yeah, it would have saved some time, but you do have better capabilities when you're level 4. Like the later ones, you got better attacks, and so you die less. So probably it would have been a wash in the end because I probably would have died more and not gotten the gold because I was trying to upgrade a character at the same time. But so you just play through the first stage and do it like 100 and something times and just call it a day. But it sounds pleasant,
Oh,
doesn't it?
right. You really sold me on that one.
You're right. So that's kind of watched it through achievements, but the game itself is just really an uninspired game. It's like a Lego game that it was classified correctly as a beat 'em up, and I guess if you're really a Disney fan, you might enjoy it. Kind of going through some of the theme stages that look like something out of the movies, but otherwise, if you don't have any kind of attachment to that to a Lego game or Disney, then I really don't think that this is going to be really a game for you. And that game is Disney Universe, available now, backwards compatible.
Actually, I'm glad you mentioned right at the end that it was beat 'em up because I was gonna like, what inspired you to play this one? And
Right.
well, mystery solved.
That's the one. That is the only reason I played this. But yeah, because I'm not like a big Disney person, and if it wasn't a beat 'em up, it would have never even crossed my radar.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. Sort of like the whole time you were talking, like none of this is in Elroy's wheelhouse,
It's really
except
not.
that gameplay genre.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for 1,200 TAD, so it's definitely not that, and not the Disney thing. And I really don't like playing through a game twice
Yeah.
just because they have a stupid achievement for that. There you go. Maybe if you were considering the game, I talked you off the cliff, or maybe as soon as I said it was like a Lego game, you went and bought it. I don't know. To each their own, I suppose.
All right.
Well, that's enough real game talk for sure.
Yeah, who cares about real games? But it's time for a quickie, right? So
Eh,
my quickie of the week is called Geometric Sniper, and I have very high praise for this game. It is what did we come up with? Oh, toddler game, my own
okay.
term, I forgot. It's not a baby game. It's not hard by any means. There is a walkthrough if you need. Well, there's not like a full walkthrough, but every achievement has a solution should you need it, but you won't need it. So it's a toddler game. 1656 TA, about a 3 hour completion. The game itself is $3. I think it's been on sale for $2 a couple times. Um, but yeah, it's geometric sniper. You are a sniper, and there are 10. How many missions? There's 12 missions, sorry, and there's like a little story for why this guy needs to die,
Mhm.
and then you're the sniper and you got to take him out, and it's always like, the terrorist is in the building, take him out before he blows it up or whatever. So there is like a time constraint, but it's not. There's no real sense of urgency. You're gonna find him and take your shot before there was any danger. But it's technically like a first person view of you looking through the sniper scope. That is the gameplay, that is the view, and it's all black and white. It's all like retro kind of looking. It's I don't know. The achievement list is I don't know what to use to describe the art style. It's very basic. Lots of lines and squiggles and whatnot. But the achievement list is very simple. Every achievement in the game is just for beat this mission, except for one. And here's my only gripe with this game. There's no spoilers. It's the achievement description is there's one for beating the first mission, and then there's one for beating the first mission differently.
Hmm.
And instead of shooting the guy like you do in every other mission, you just shoot the guy. In the first mission, you have the option, instead of shooting him, you can shoot the air conditioner above him, and then
Mhm.
that will fall and kill him. And that is the only mission in the game where there is any option other than just shoot the guy. So my only gripe with the game is in every other mission, why why couldn't we have had, multiple options for all the other ones? Like they put that into the first mission and we're like, this is a great feature. Let's not do it for the next 11 missions.
Hmm.
So very strange to me, that design decision, but um, it's it's $3. Don't go in expecting the next Call of Duty or whatever. But for $3, it's well done. I gave it a 4 star. No problem there for what it is, and for $3, highly recommend this one. It's a good afternoon. It's a good evening. You'll finish it in
Oh,
one shot. Geometric Sniper.
Okay, so my first question, obviously, is
Yeah.
was there any hidden cats in the buildings that were the people that you were killing?
I sure there might be cats. I don't remember cats specifically.
Well, it was made. The publisher is no other than the one that has hidden
Get Out, is it really?
hidden cats in Spooky Town, hidden cats in this, hidden
Oh
cats
shoot!
in, and apparently there's a new one, hidden cats in Santa's realm. So those,
No way! I'm
yeah.
behind on my cats, man. Sweet. That's funny. I had no idea. I see it now, actually.
The reason I looked is because the art style reminded me of a game that I played, and I can't think of the name of it, and so I was trying to think of it, and so I clicked on the publisher, and that is not what I expected. The one I was thinking of was like a open world type game with stick figures everywhere, and it was just like, I don't know, kind of like a Dude Bro game. I can't think of the name of it. Maybe I'll remember it before next time. But
Oh,
yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like Mayhem
yeah,
something.
yeah. See, that's what I got hung up on the word mayhem, and I was like, I know that
Oh man,
mayhem's in
I
there.
know exactly what you're talking about.
And there's, like,
Um.
aliens in it at the end, I think, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. You're, like, robbing banks and gosh, I can't think of the name of that game, but that was an enjoyable
That
game.
is State of Anarchy, Master of Mayhem.
I knew there was mayhem in it. It's funny
Yep.
you
Yeah,
got
if
hung
you're
up on that
familiar with
too.
that game, it's that art style. Completely different game, but that's the art style for
Yeah,
it.
that's a good game. I would play that instead of this one. No offense.
But yeah, Geometric Sniper, $3, solid 4 stars for me. I really have nothing to complain other than just I wish the achievement list had a little more variety. But if you just want an easy completion, there you go.
It may be challenging to spot the difference between this game and, the Anarchy game that, we mentioned. But if you're good at the game that I'm gonna talk about, I'm sure that you can, which is spot the differences. I already kinda spoiled it earlier. That's the game I was gonna talk
You
about.
did voluntarily
Yeah.
even.
I had talked about bright side riddles and puzzles in a previous episode or level where that was the game I majorly talked about, where you have all these different scenarios and survival and things like that. But one of the games was where you had to spot the differences between things. That's kind of what this game is. It's just that by itself. No, none of the other scenarios. This game is just here's a photo, here's a photo. We Photoshop some things out of it, find the 5 differences in this photo, go. And that's all there is to it. But this game did accomplish what I was wanting it to accomplish, the other one to accomplish, which is it allows you to compete against one another in doing so. So if there's the photos are on the screen, you can have 3, 4, actually 4 players playing at the same time, where if one person clicks on it, then that's not available for the other person, and then it tallies up your scores.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly what I was looking for in the other game, that it was limited by itself. It was a very basic game. So this game is a little more advanced in that it has local co-op, but other than that, it's really limited because that is all this game is. There's no other modes, and looking at photos and trying to find differences between them, that's only novel for so long. There's a campaign mode for it, and all the achievements are in the campaign mode, which is using the hints once, 5 times, 10 times, complete 1 session, complete 10 sessions, finding consecutive differences, 1 time, 5 times, 10 times, 25 times, 50 times, unlock 100 photos, 200 photos, 300 photos. These are all different achievements. That's basically all the achievements are, is just doing that. But there is one interesting achievement, which is there's a platinum achievement for getting all the achievements in the game. That achievement is called Hunter Eyes. The platinum trophy is worth 0 gamer score.
Oh.
But there's good news, is that it was broken. But the good news is
Aha!
they fixed it. See?
Oh! I can only go. What more do you have? I got like maybe one more pitch in me.
You get it for looking at the credits.
That's that's all
But
I got.
it's not, yeah, they couldn't figure out how to make it work with the achievement, so they're just like, just load up the credits. Boop, boop. There you go.
Oh, like they changed the requirement, like they actually turned it from a platinum to a real achievement.
Yes, there's for looking at the,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
because that's an amazing achievement, looking at the credits. And if you look at my performance in this game, this is where it gets interesting for me, is that I haven't done anything in the campaign because I've been using it in my classroom. The only achievement I have is the platinum achievement, and it's worth 0 gamer score. Now, that's interesting to me because if you go to the section on the page that says my friends scores, it has everyone listed, but it has me listed as having 1 TA. which is interesting because it's 0 achievements. There's 0 gamer score, so it's worth 0 TA. So how do
Right.
I magically have 1 TA? It should have me listed as 0 TA, but then if it listed me as 0 TA, how would it differentiate me from everyone that has not played the game? I don't know. I just found that interesting that it gives me 1 extra TA just so it can list me on the leaderboard of my friends' scores.
That is interesting, actually. I mean, I'm looking. It's a 1.67 ratio.
Right, but that times 0 is what?
Well, anything times 0 is 0, but I'm thinking if they're just like, well, because what you said, why it should round up to 2. 1.67 should round up. Yeah, that's actually a really interesting
Yeah, that's the only thing I found interesting
sort
so
of
far.
coding programming thing on the TA end. I'm intrigued by that.
That's the reason I haven't gone into the the campaign and popped any other achievements is because I wanted to show
Right,
you
you
that.
just wanna keep your
I wanted to
1
show
out
you
of
that. I was
0.
like, "Man, that's interesting." So, eventually I
Yeah, that
will,
is
but
cool, actually. I'm glad you pointed that out.
yeah, I guess, maybe I stumbled into some, who knows? The game's, Spot the Differences Party. I don't know, it's not even listed as a party game that I remember. It's a puzzle game, so it's not even a party.
Jeez,
Should should be Spot the
that's a
Differences
little misleading.
Puzzle.
Puzzle.
Puzzle, right. But, yeah, it's $10, and I shelled out $10 for it because I needed to use it in my classroom, and us teachers make big bucks.
Hey, that's a tax write-off there. That's a work expense.
I guess we can head right on into some Game Pass news. Okay, let me take you behind the scenes for a second. There's something that X has been wanting to talk about for weeks here, and we keep going so long in the other sections that it's just like, man, this is going to be so long. And we want to be nice to the editor because the editor is myself. And it just takes so long already to edit. So, what you got in Game Pass, man?
All right. Well, as far as Game Pass is a little bit of a bloodbath
Hmm.
in terms of what we're losing.
Oh man, yeah. There's one game in particular I want to talk about. That's all I saw was I don't even care what we're getting. We are losing an absolute classic. That is, I'm sure you know which one it is, right?
Let's see, Elroy losing. Oh, we're losing party animals? That's the one you're upset about.
No, not that one.
No,
No,
I
worse
mean
than
I didn't
that.
think you'd play it, but it has
Worse.
animals.
Yeah, worse than that.
Worse than that. I mean, I'm looking at the list here. We're losing Amnesia, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, Close to the Sun, Coral Island, Forager, Forza Horizon 4, Humankind, Lego 2K Drive. Is it McPixel 3?
It is 100% McPixel 3. That is an absolute classic.
Rise of the Tomb Raider, The Quarry, and Tin Hearts are the ones we're losing. Tell us about McPixel 3, though.
My gosh. You can take all those other ones. That's the one that's the heartbreaker. If you have not played this game, you gotta do yourself a favor and go and play it. This one, I've done a whole level on this, I think. I don't remember what it was. It was some segment on it, but oh man, this game just came out of nowhere with me and just it
Yeah, that should have
charmed
been
me.
obvious.
It charmed me. Yeah, it charmed me greatly. And it has a crap ton of achievements. So if you just want to have, I think it has like 90 something achievements in it. I mean, it's insane. And they're all just, it's just ridiculous little scenarios. The game is hysterical. I laughed so much when I was playing it. It was just so gloriously weird. Have you played it yet? I can't remember.
Nope.
Oh
I
my
probably
gosh.
won't get to it before it leaves either.
Oh, you got, oh, man, it's so good. It's such a great game. I'm all about the McPixel now. It's a takeoff of like MacGyver, the guy that's can basically disarm a bomb with
I
a
do know
paperclip.
MacGyver, all you olds. Don't come at me for that one.
Yeah, it's kind of based out of that. And this guy, he's just finds himself in a lot of scenarios where he's got to, do something, where disarm, keep an accident from happening, whether it's a plane crashing or sometimes it's inevitable, and then you just kind of have to survive, and then there's different endings for each scene, and you have to find all the different endings, and it's just a blast to play. I gave it a 5 out of 5 only because I couldn't give it a 6. I mean, it was one of my favorite games I had played like in a long time. I don't know, it just spoke to me for some reason.
Okay. Well, that's high praise. On the flip side, joining Game Pass, I'll go through the list really quick. Of course, we have, well, I'll go through the list kind of out of order based on just the image and then a
Hmm.
couple highlights, of course. So we have Humanity, Haunty, I guess is how you say it. I don't know anything about any of these, by the way. Road 96, Carrion's Back, Crash Team Racing, Wild Frost, Overthrown, WRC, but the big ones are Forza Motorsport, if you're into sim racing,
Ugh.
is joining Game Pass. Yeah, I know, that's a eye roll and a clap from both of us, but I know people are very much into that, so that one's joining. And then Indiana Jones is the big Game Pass get. So one of us should probably play that so we can talk about it. And
Not
we
it.
know it's not
Not
going to
it.
be you. I
Not
guess
it.
I'm playing Indiana Jones this week. I'm actually excited for it. I'm not. I am not a big indie fan. I didn't grow up with it like some of our listeners did. I've seen them all.
Mm.
I've enjoyed all. Well, I haven't seen the newest one, but I enjoyed the first four, even though Crystal Skull apparently doesn't exist. But
It doesn't exist.
yeah, that's our big Game Pass get is the Indiana Jones game for sure.
Wait. What do you mean it doesn't exist? I watched the movie.
Well, no, it literally exists, but I guess the fans of the original trilogy like to pretend that it doesn't exist.
Oh, I see.
Like they'll just say, no, there's only 3 Indiana Jones
Oh,
movies.
that was funny. That was an
But what
enjoyable one.
about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? Huh? And then they play dumb.
Oh, okay. That used to be Temple of Doom, but I guess it replaced that. Most people used to
Gotcha.
not like that one, but
Yeah, I enjoyed Crystal Skull as much as the first 3, to be honest.
yeah, that was
But
fine. Kept the formula going. I like the scene with the refrigerator, and I thought that was kind of funny and well done. It did get a little weird. It kind of jumped the shark a little bit with the dude getting killed by the ants, I think it was. Spoiler alert. But
what
yeah, that's
was that, 2008, right? We can spoil that movie now.
oh no, I remember watching it again. I think I watched it on my way to Japan when I went over there most recently. Well, the only time I've been there, but there's like a scene where some dude, I think it was spiders or ants or something, and it was not good. That scene, they should have taken that scene out. That was not a good scene. Not that it was like scary. It was
That's
just
right up there.
it was just poorly done.
That's right up there with the girl being a master ninja
Oh
black belt in
gosh,
Jurassic
yes,
Park.
Jurassic freaking Park. The gymnast. Well, glad those lessons paid off. Oh my gosh, man. Now I just got upset with Jurassic Park. God, they
Well,
ruined
sadly, this is not a movie podcast, but
that. Right.
Indiana Jones and what's the subtitle? Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I should know this
The
as I
Great
talk about it.
Circle. What is
That's what it is, yeah, in the Great Circle. If you watch the trailer, he's like, there's an obelisk in, all around the earth, and they form a great circle around the planet.
Oh
So
man.
that's the premise of the game.
Okay. Well, all right. I can't wait to hear how you do this. So
Yeah, I won't have it done obviously by the next time we record, but I will dive in.
all right.
I will see what it's all about. So next time you hear from X the Hero, our dear listeners, I'll be talking about Indiana Jones.
Well, maybe you can use the achievements for the annual Christmas TA event, the 12 Days of Christmas. Are you entering that this year?
Enter it, yes. Will I go out of my way to do it? Probably not. I think last year I didn't even beat day 1. 2022, I think I got like day 3. Like if I get them playing, cool, but I'm not going out of my way for anything there. But will I enter it? I sure will.
I'll probably do it. I don't know. I always like this one. This one has always been kind of enjoyable to me for some reason. I just have a soft spot in my heart for the 12 Days of Christmas contest for some reason. I can't explain it. I'll probably do it. Anyway, how about some milestones? Do you have any interesting milestones for us?
I like deliberately. You know what? Actually, no. I'm not even going to be nice. People, listeners, and Discordians, I'm calling you guys out. I went through my feed and I'm scrolling through it again as I'm talking. Actually, trying to find something cool, something noteworthy to put on here,
No?
and there's just there's nothing that screams worthy. Like I get one thing, right? That's how we do this now. And there's just nothing that really screams worthy of that one thing. So, Carnage or K Forge
Orange.
has won 67,500 achievements, which is a weird number that I wouldn't otherwise say. But, congrats, Carnage. And the rest of you need to do some cool stuff so I can shout you out on here. And rant.
That's podcasting 101. Blame the listeners. I love it.
Blame the listeners. I love you guys, but your milestones are boring and irrelevant here. Give me something good.
Well, I have a good one for you. And it was interesting to me how it played out this morning. So I I was looking and I was like, let me see what I could find. And then it just leapt off of TA at me. And I saw Waka Pill set a new milestone of starting the game Strong Moon, which is another amazing game for you to play if you have never played. The opening scene, a cutscene. All right, it's so good that I did not skip it. It had me hanging on. I know it had me on the edge of my seat.
Wow!
And Waka even commented later. He said he was surprised that I sat through it because there's a big button in the corner that says skip with and I did not.
That just it might as well say Elroy, click
Yes.
this button.
No, and normally it would, but I was invested in this story. And Strong Moon, in case you forgot, that was the game that I was the first one to complete it. It was my first completion. And then some dude cheated or something, and all of a sudden, I'm not even sure, beat it in like 30 minutes, which is impossible. And I have the screenshot of it saying that I'm the first person to complete it. And then all of a sudden, this dude completed it like a month earlier or something, or weeks before me, somehow with a fraction of the time that is needed to beat the game. I don't know. I'm calling BS on it, but whatever. I've moved on. It's okay. But so I'm officially the second person, even though I was the first. But anyhow, so I saw that this morning, and I immediately loaded up my notes and I wrote Waka Strong on there so I wouldn't forget. And then, wouldn't you know it, 20 minutes later, he tags me in Discord and says, yeah, Elroy, it happened. And I knew exactly what he was talking about. He didn't even have to go to the next.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I know. And I don't know. I don't think he enjoyed the opening cutscene as much as I did, but maybe it was a cultural thing. I don't know. Since he's a Swedish god or whatever. But
there you go. Podcasting 102. Blame the culture.
It's all this dang culture and all this dang listeners, right? Right. Shoot. Anything left to promote or talk about other than the thing that I keep skipping for 4 weeks?
Well, it's a fun story. I just want to share with you guys. It's something I didn't mention it in Discord. It's not a huge deal. It's just a fun story that I want to share on air. It's not time sensitive or anything. So
Maybe next time.
spoiler, I guess. You'll hear it eventually. And I look forward to telling you the tale.
Well, in the meantime, everyone's going to be on the edge of their seats, and we appreciate all of you for giving us a listen, and class is dismissed. But
not until we talk about the top 3 December flavors. Number 3, gingerbread. Number 2, peppermint. And number 1, eggnog.
Oh, man, I have something a little bit related. Top 3 things you shouldn't piss on. Number 3, electric fence. Number 2, a rock that's too close to you. And number 1, plastic covering a freaking toilet. Thanks, guys.
See ya.